What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Full 90. It is time for the Champions League round of 16 second leg predictions. Now, the last round, the first leg of the round of 16, I predicted in 2 separate videos, but I am going away next week, so I'm going to predict all 8 fixtures in this video. So you might be watching this after the first 4 have been played, but either way, drop a like on this video, subscribe down below. Thank you to the 400 subscribers that have joined the channel in the last month, and leave your predictions down in the comments because we are finally seeing teams get eliminated from the Champions League as we whittle it down from 16 to 8. Flashing up on the screen are all of the members that have joined the Patreon since the last episode. Thank you so much to all of you that are supporting the channel and getting your exclusive tips and accumulators and everything like that. If you want to shout out in each and every single video, as well as exclusive tips, for example, Champions League accumulators, Europa League accumulators, Conference League accumulators, all that stuff that I can't have in all of my videos because it would just take way too much time and there'd be too many uploads, then be sure to click the Patreon link using the description down below. But let's delay no further. We have an absolute Christmas cracker in March of a game with Bayern Munich up against Lazio. Now, Lazio took a 1-0 win from Bayern Munich in the first leg, which is absolutely huge. It sets up this game brilliantly. Bayern Munich dropping points again at the weekend, giving Bayer Leverkusen a 10-point lead in the title race. I think Bayern Munich are going to come back. They have to come back. You know, obviously, if they don't win the Bundesliga, that would be considered a fail, but you'd have to give it to Bayer Leverkusen. But if they can win the Champions League, it's definitely something. You know, it's definitely something for Bayern Munich to win the Champions League. They could do it. I don't think they will, but they definitely could. So I think Bayern Munich are going to make a comeback here, and I'm going to go for Bayern Munich 3, Lazio 1. And my tip is going to be Bayern Munich and over 2.5 goals at 1.7. I wanted to say Bayern Munich and both teams to score, but I just wonder if, given that Lazio kick off this game with something to hold on to and protect, whether or not they'll actually push for a goal, and they might struggle to score in the sense that they're trying to protect the lead rather than being brave and trying to extend their lead. So I reckon they might try and emulate the first performance, keep it low scoring, because if the lower scoring the game is, the higher chance Lazio have of going through. So that might be their game plan. But I think Bayern Munich, when needs must, at home, will get the job done. 3-1, Bayern Munich to win, and over 2.5 goals at 1.7. After that, it's Real Sociedad up against PSG. I found this one very difficult to predict in the sense PSG already have a 2-0 advantage in this tie, so it's not paramount that they win this fixture. Real Sociedad are in a rough run of form at the moment, so I've actually just gone for a 1-1 draw between the two teams, seeing PSG qualify comfortably, getting the job done in the first leg. My tip is going to be both teams to score at 1.75 on the basis that if Real Sociedad want a chance to go through, they need to score. I think they can score 1, and PSG are good enough to score as well, and they'll be happy to take a draw and just carry on through to the next stage of the tournament. So I'm going to go Real Sociedad 1, PSG 1, both teams to score at 1.75. After this, it's Manchester City up against FC Copenhagen. Now, Man City, they have a 3-1 lead. I wonder if they're going to maybe actually rotate a little bit this time round, because they do have a very important fixture coming up at the weekend against Liverpool. That is where their eyes will be, so they don't need to go crazy with putting their first team out, and I think they can beat Copenhagen with their second string team anyway. So I am actually going to go for a Man City 3-1 win, and my tip is Man City and both teams to score at 2.62. I think Copenhagen can score. I have no idea what sort of lineup Man City are going to do. It would be just like Pep to play a full-strength team, but surely, I mean, I got it for the first leg, right, of the round of 16. Play a full-strength team, deal with the league when it comes, but Champions League, make sure you get that first leg lead so you don't have a Bayern Munich-Lazio type situation where you have to put your first rate 11 out in the following fixture. So I think City, with even a bit of a weakened 11, not super weak, but a weakened 11, can still get a comprehensive win over Copenhagen. Man City and both teams to score 2.62. After this, it's Real Madrid up against RB Leipzig. Controversy in the Real Madrid fixture as the referee blows up for full time right before Bellingham scores what would have been the winner, and then his frustration sees him get sent off with a red card. I do think Real Madrid are going to win this fixture. They are 1-0 up already against RB Leipzig, and I think they're going to get the win at the home as well. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Real Madrid, and my tip is Real Madrid and both teams to score at 2.87. RB Leipzig, they're a good team, but they're just not as good as Real Madrid. So with those 4 fixtures, we don't really have any upsets. We see the favourites go through in Bayern Munich, PSG, Man City, and Real Madrid. And that is, of course, the best team in Germany, supposedly. Maybe not this season, but typically. PSG, the best in France, Man City, the best in England, and Real Madrid, the best in Spain. So moving on to the second part, we have Arsenal up against Porto, and Arsenal, a drab away performance against FC Porto. Absolutely smashing it in the league, sandwiched by a game with no shots on Porto's goal for the entire game. And then they concede a late screamer, seeing FC Porto winning that game 1-0. To be honest, for the neutral, that probably makes this very, very exciting. I have no doubt that Arsenal are going to bounce back and get the win at the Emirates. I'm an Arsenal fan. I really hope if we bottle this and we exit the Champions League, I'll be very frustrated because although Porto are good, it's not as difficult a tie as we could have got. So I think Arsenal are going to get the job done in regular time. I'm going to go for a 3-1 win to the Gunners. My tip is Arsenal and over 2.5 goals at 1.72. But one thing Porto have done pretty well, they certainly did their homework, was kind of nullify Arsenal's threat from set pieces. Essentially just throwing themselves to the ground and making it difficult for Arsenal to get any flow. They disrupted them pretty well, quite successfully. I think Arsenal, though, at home, will have the strength to overcome this Porto side. And the odds suggest that. They're very, very low. Arsenal to win is like 1.22. Which, against a team as good as Porto, is just unbelievably low. But my tip is Arsenal and over 2.5 goals at 1.72, which would see Arsenal go through 3-2 on aggregate. Now, after this, it's Barcelona up against Napoli. We predicted a score draw in the first leg, and it was. I think Barcelona are going to come back. They're going to get the win. They're going to get through to the quarterfinals. They need something to shout about. They just came off of a 0-0 draw with Atletico Bilbao, and Napoli got a brilliant 2-1 victory at home against Juventus in what has been a very topsy-turvy season for Napoli. I think they're going to exit the Champions League here with Barcelona getting a 2-1 home win. But my tip is going to be both teams to score at 1.7 because I'm not as confident that Barcelona will win as I am that Napoli will also score, adding to the goal tally along with Barcelona. I could see this being a 1-1 draw again. It could even go to penalties. I think if any game in this round is going to go to penalties, it would be Barcelona-Napoli. Coming up after this is Atletico Madrid up against Inter Milan. Inter Milan currently have a 1-0 lead over Atletico Madrid, and Inter just look good. They look nailed on for the Scudetto to win. I think they are going to win this game again. Even though they only need to draw to progress, I could see them going to Atletico Madrid and getting another win. I'm actually going to go for the same scoreline. I like the look of it, and I think Inter Milan are levels above Atletico Madrid at this point. So I'm going to go for a 1-0 win to Inter, and the tip is going to be Inter Milan draw no bet at 1.72. So if it draws, you get your money back. I don't think Atletico Madrid are going to win because I think Inter Milan are going to qualify in real time, and for them to qualify, or in regular time. So for them to do that, they need to not lose. I don't think they will. So Inter Milan draw no bet. It's your money back or profit. So I think that is a good bet at 1.72. And the final game, Borussia Dortmund up against PSV. PSV coming off an exciting 2-2 draw between themselves and Feyenoord, and Borussia Dortmund getting a good away win in the Bundesliga, it has to be said. I think Borussia Dortmund at home are going to get the win and see themselves qualify to the quarterfinals along with Bayern Munich, and seeing obviously RB Leipzig exit for the German contingent of Champions League teams remaining this season. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Dortmund. My tip is both teams to score at 1.53. I think realistically you could have Man City, Bayern Munich, Arsenal and Dortmund as a 2 per week result in both teams to score fourfold at what would probably be odds of around 80-1. I think that would be very, very cool. So if you want to get on that, by all means do that. But that would see the likes of Bayern Munich, PSG, Manchester City, Real Madrid, Arsenal, Barcelona, Inter Milan and Borussia Dortmund qualify in what would be then a star-studded quarterfinal. Really kind of using the round of 16 to eliminate the lesser teams. You know, you've got some absolute giants. You've got the best team in, if you exclude Bayer Leverkusen, you've got the best team in Germany. You have the best team in France, the best team in England, the best team in Spain, the second or third best team in England, the second or third best team in Spain, the best team in Italy, and then another German giant as well in what would be a very exciting quarterfinal in this season's Champions League. So that is going to do it for this video. Like I said at the beginning, make sure you drop a like, subscribe down below to join us on the road to 27,000 subscribers. Leave your predictions in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video very soon.